Welcome back. Today we'll see the PBS, which is Proxmox backup server setup for PVE backup. So, previous video on PBS installation, um, you may wish to see that as a prerequisite, uh, but otherwise also this gives an idea for setup involved. So I have already installed Proxmox backup server at this point. At that point of installation, it was version 3.4.1, and I did go to administration tab and chose to update PBS if there is any latest update to the version or objects. So apt kept update is the command to be used for updating it. So there were a few updates as you may have seen earlier. Now installing the NFS common. So this command apt-get install NFS hyphen common gets the NFS tools to be installed on PBS as well. But I'm currently installing it on PVE. This holds good for the latest versions of PBS or PVE as well. So I'm creating a mount drive here, mkdir PBS, and then going to PBS directory, and then mkdir PVE backup. I made a small notes with NFS command, and then executing it in PVE. So mount minus TNFS minus O user is equal to the specific backup related user, and give the IP, which is the local IP of the NAS. And here MP0 is already tagged, it is attached. The PVE backup is the mounted path. Now we need to reboot the container for PBS. So when I try to execute Proxmox backup manager or data store, it has given some issue. So going ahead with investigating that, and then we'll be back shortly. Now here 15%, so data store usage history. So that 15%, whatever it is showing is of 9.51 GB kind of, which is already available in PBS install directory. So that is not what we want to use because backups need more space, and the space what we want to get is from the NAS drive, which is actually mapped through NFS. So here in this page we have seen several charts, and now going to permissions, user permissions, and then there is a path, user, and role to be given here. We choose the data store admin, and then propagate to be selected yes. Then click add, and then we get the uh, local data store added based on the NFS path. Now going to PVE, have to go to storage, and then can add Proxmox backup server storage, choosing that option, and then in the ID I'm choosing here PBS. On the server, give the local IP address of the PBS. Username and password to be entered here. Username is the one at Realm PBS, and later we may need to select the nodes. Specifically, if we are taking backup of only a specific node, and then enable to VS, which is default, and then data store. This is the data store that was created a few minutes ago. That was uh, specifically to be noted and then entered here. And then go to PBS and go to the dashboard and get the fingerprint from there and enter the fingerprint there and click exit. Now we need to go back to PBS and then get the updates done using command apt update ampersand apt upgrade -y. So I've got the latest updates already, so don't have to do that if you have done it already on the same day. So apt install nfs common. So going ahead with again mm, seeing any updates, and if it's not installed with NFS tools, and now attaching the storage that we mounted from the NAS on the MNT folder. So here using the PCT command for mounting that, and we see in the FS tab with the MP0, so that has to be entered in the conf file as well. So systemctl daemon reload is the one which actually applies the FS tab parameters there. So it's closely equivalent to restarting the container. So we are going here to uh, enter the NFS path so that whenever it boots, it picks up that NFS mounted uh, uh, backup drive, and then going to use reload command again so that it applies that change. Now we have the ID backup, server is pointing to NAS, and then we have a export for NFS, and then choose in the backup retention whether you want last one backup or couple of backups or daily or monthly, yearly kind of, and then going back to storage disk. Under that user select specifically the backup related user that we created at the rate PBS. PBS is the real there. Now just uh, having this to be redone to set the permissions correctly so that we can get it sorted out. Now going to storage disk on the directory directory can be added. We can give the disk path and then file system or a name. Use as a data store can be selected. It's usually default. Sometimes when it is not showing the disk there, that means we need to do some additional steps. So there were few updates on PVE. Then installing NFS kernel server and making a directory for PBS backup using the mkdir-p mount PBS backup command. Now chon nobody no group mount PBS backup so that the mounted drive can be used without having permission problem. So chmod 755 mount PBS backup. That command is executed. Now adding that to NFS exports as well. Mount PBS backup and then 192.168 which is the local path, and then all devices on the local network can be used. Then export fs space hyphen arv. So this shows us what has been exported. Now we need to use command systemctl start NFS kernel server, and from my prepared little notes, copying and pasting command.